something we can share together.
So, but this evening, I'm interviewing Christine Radcliff, and she is the mother of the YouTube sensations, the Maund girls, the Maund sisters. So, hold on a minute. There we go. So, Christine, welcome tonight under this horrendous situation that's happening to your family. So what we're going to talk about this evening, first of all, Christine, if you could just kind of let the viewing audience know, anyone that doesn't know or is not familiar with your daughters, tell a little bit about them, their names, their ages, and what has led to the damages that CPS has done, and also just if you don't mind talking about the county and the state that you live in, and the players who have caused this utter damage to your family.
All right, so a year ago, my daughter's friend told them about this broadcasting site called YouNow, and my daughters went live on the account, and they both had separate accounts. And my oldest daughter is 17. Her name is Kaylee Maund, and then I have a 13-year-old named Alexis Maund, and they both had separate accounts, and they both were building a fan base. And it's what the broadcast site is like. It's pretty much set up like this is. It looks like you're on a FaceTime call like this, and people can talk to you. There's no nudity allowed or no drug use, and if there is, you're immediately banned. Your account is forever gone. And my daughters weren't doing that great separate, so they came together and they did Maund Sisters, and they exploded, and they got signed to a contract with this broadcasting company. The broadcasting company promised them $1,200 a month income, but they had to broadcast at least 3 times a week for at least 45 minutes a day. And so I sat down with my daughters and I explained to them this is what they wanted. And I explained to them, mother to child, what it entailed, what this was going to take, and they wanted to do it. So I let them do it. And they did really well. They created a big fan base. They actually got a subscription button where you could subscribe to them monthly. And they had fun doing it. They would dress up in fat suits, and you can also Google Maund Sisters and you'll get images, which I'm going to show you some also. There was never any nudity or anything. Well, April of this year, my 17-year-old daughter...
I just want to kind of bring them up to par with just a couple more important questions first, and then we'll get to that part. And we definitely want to get to the photos and so on. And you as a mom and your family structure and your discipline and your moral values and so on and so forth. And I'd like you to kind of let America know about your family prior to the damages that they've caused you, because I want them to get a sense of.
Prior to this, I mean, we talk about everything. We would be the family that would, we all did pranks together, had dinner together, and I actually got a video of us sitting down and having dinner together. Punishment, if my kids got punished, they never got hit or abused. Their punishment, they knew, was their phone being taken. They wouldn't be allowed to go to the mall, go skating, go to the movies, whatever they done. But I really never had a problem having to punish my girls. My kids are good girls. Like, they know when you're a parent, your kids know how far to push you before they are going to push you too far and they get restricted. And my kids know, like, when I say no, it's no. My kids are outgoing. They've never been abused sexually, physically. They're in good health. They were in school. My 13-year-old was AB honor roll. My 17-year-old, she had a little rougher time. She was in the C and D range. I'm not going to say she was AB, but my kids have morals. They were raised with You respect people. You don't judge people. My kids were not raised to know color, racism. We go to church. They were involved with the youth group at our church, and we just did normal family things. Like, they were on tour. I was always with them on tour. We went to New York. They have a very fun and exciting and eventful life, and a loving family that supports them in all they want to do.
So, and I really wanted everybody to know that, so they had a basis to everything prior to seeing now what damages have been done to your family, what CPS has done, and also I'm not sure if you told them the state that you're in, the county and state that you're in, that this happened in.
I am in Montgomery County, which is in Tennessee.
Okay, so this is Tennessee, folks. Okay, so now, if you don't mind, kind of now letting us know what's transpired in this past. How many months has it been, and since this occurred, and
Well,
what exactly occurred?
this came about April 7th. My 17-year-old, I wouldn't allow her boyfriend to come over because they were making out in our living room, and me and her dad, we sat them both down and we told them the rules. So that way they couldn't say they didn't know the rules. So we gave them another chance to redeem themselves and know that this is what we expect when you're in our home. You keep your hands to yourself. You can sit in the living room. You can watch movies. You can go out on the porch. You can't go in your room. You can't be in any closed doors. Well, the second time they were making out on my couch, so I told the boyfriend he couldn't come over anymore because you can't respect the rules in my home and keep your hands to yourself. Well, of course, that made my 17-year-old upset. He couldn't come over anymore. April 7th, she went to, it was actually the 6th, early morning. She was texting the boy and going to have him come to my house while we were sleeping. And their brother was intervening the messages because my daughter had fell asleep. And when he was about to come in my house, her boyfriend, my son came and woke me and the dad up. And we came out the door. My husband took off after the boy, and I called 911. I was going to have the boy arrested for trying to take my minor daughter. And the boyfriend was 19. The cops couldn't find him, whatever. And then my 17-year-old daughter made a comment to the cop that she broadcast for money. Well, the cop assumed that because she broadcast for money, that I had them on a porn site.
And not knowing anything about the history of your daughters, not knowing anything whatsoever. See, this is something that happens all too often. They don't take serious allegations seriously, but then they take something and they twist it and distort it into something that it's not. Okay, now here's
Exactly.
something too. Now you have a family, an intact family on top of it, in a nice neighborhood, okay, without any kind of a criminal history or anything that they can say, they can look up and say, we got trouble here. They look and they
I've
see
never been
nothing.
arrested.
Well, that's my point. They should say, look, there's nothing here. There's never been anything here. Okay, do a little investigating, a little talking, a little communicating. Could save a lot of problems. So then what happened?
So then CPS shows up here, and they say that they're going to transport my girls for an interview. And I got a phone call. That happened in the very early morning of the 7th. They took them out of here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they told me they would call me. They called me around 4:30 that afternoon and asked me to come down to the office. And I went to the office, and they told me they were taking my children in custody for sexual abuse.
And now this leaves you in utter shock. And I know the feeling.
Yeah, I didn't understand. At first I thought my husband or my son. I'm like, they would never touch the girls. Like, what's going on? And they wouldn't tell me. And then I was just crying and upset, and I just kept asking, can somebody please tell me what is going on? And
Right.
then finally a supervisor came out, and she told me that the girls were being removed for sexual exploitation.
Me as an advocate and as somebody who has been investigating stories for a number of years, and not just hearsay, but having actual evidence placed in front of me, and then now with the wealth of amount of people that are coming with evidence showing me things where it's completely being ignored. I can't begin to tell you, and we've talked a few times, you and I, how this angers me to the core that we are seeing these haphazard, irresponsible decisions that are being made that are affecting families all over our nation like this. So go ahead.
So I came back here and I got them clothes and took it up there. And I came back home. It was about 12:30 at midnight at this point the next day. And I was laying down in bed, and then I heard just a beat on the door. And I woke my husband up, and he came and opened the door, and there was like 17 cops surrounding my whole house.
Oh my God.
Like I had a dead body in my house there, and I live in a very nice subdivision. It was quite embarrassing.
Of course.
And they came in and served a search warrant, and they seized my cell phone, computers, any and everything that could connect to the internet or send or receive messages. And that the charges were sex trafficking and solicitation of a minor.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So now this was just April of 2017. So we're talking just about 5 months now, because we're just in November here. Just about 5 months of this. Where has it gone from that point to now today? And what have you guys done to try to remedy this? What have you done? What has Child Predator Services done? What judge is involved in this?
Judge Barnes is the judge. I only have had one hearing, and he listened to one witness. They called up the CPS worker that came out here on the call, and he listened to her testimony, and he said that was enough. He didn't need to hear any more.
Okay,
And
so what was it that you didn't need to hear any more of? What was it?
That I was being accused of sex trafficking my children, and that was all he needed to hear.
That's all you needed to hear. That was it. The end. Okay.
The end. So I left out of the courtroom very upset, and
But meanwhile, let's pull this out for a minute, because let's look at this situation and assess it with a thinking mind. Okay, they were a YouTube sensation, so they were publicly seen. How hard is it to pull up this stuff? How is it hidden? Was it hidden from the world? Was it private, or was it public to say,
public.
Oh, this is or is not really happening? Meanwhile, we've got 5 months now of limbo, and we're going to get into what's happening with your daughters and where this is supposed to be better than their accusation. But that was all public. So go ahead, show what you can, and you have to bring it close.
Their YouTube channels is of dinner time. Their YouTube channel is them cutting bread. I gave them a piece of bread and told them to cut it into 2 triangles.
Right.
This here is a video, the bottom one, of them doing a fill it or eat it challenge. If they got it wrong, they had to eat it. Properly dressed, nothing nude, no nudes, no inappropriate pictures.
And I wonder even if, I don't know if you see him on right now because I'm driving, but I wonder if Ira's watching right now with what Cash Me Outside girl's been doing. Why is anybody pulling her? I mean, it's
Exactly.
just insane. It's just insane, the flip. And then I see, like, my son is 10, and I have all the guards on everything that he's got, tablets and things like that. And still I listen to this crazy music that's on, and I listen to the words that these 9 and 10-year-olds are singing, and they get off the bus with the F-bomb, and I'm saying, things have definitely gotten out of hand in this country, in this world, overall, but I don't understand it. First of all, it irritates me. Oh my God, it drives me insane that these people think they can parent our children. Who the hell are they? But these decisions that they're making, these shoot now and then talk about it later. Let's see if we got the real victim later. You know what I'm saying? Blow them up, and then we'll find out if we did the right thing.
These are all pictures of my daughters. There's nothing inappropriate. They're happy. This is my daughter and son. We were at a red carpet event in New York at Times Square. Nickelodeon invited my kid there. Like, I mean, these are, there's
So here
nothing
you
inappropriate.
well, and here they are contracted. So if anybody should be in trouble for child sex trafficking, it would be them, the contractors. I mean, so
And it's no different
I mean,
than them being
how
in.
difficult is it for this judge to get the actual proof? So now he doesn't have the actual proof. It's done haphazardly, irresponsibly, like I just got done saying. This is typical, okay, whether you're obviously in the public eye or you're not, okay, whether you're wealthy or you're poor, it doesn't matter. But their decision making is, their system is so beyond broken, and yet we answer to this psychopathic system. But mind you, now you've got what has happened to your daughters now, and obviously I know because we talked how upset you are, and rightfully so. What's happened to your daughters in the
Well,
past 5 months, coming from a structured home, coming from a loving home, a protected home? Now what's happened to them because of this allegation?
they've been in 4 foster homes. My daughter was sexually molested in one, and that was swept under the rug. The foster parent quit the same day my daughter told them that her boyfriend molested him. My daughter has an STD, chlamydia. My daughter's been failed a drug test, and she didn't even have sex in my care. She never had drugs in my care, and never an STD.
I'm so sorry.
So these people come in and dictate, and they deemed me that my children were not safe at home. At what point do I get to say you failed to protect my children?
And continue to fail to protect your children and continue to violate your rights and their rights.
My kids, my 13-year-old wants to be an actress. She wants to be on Nickelodeon. My daughter wants to be a model. When they got these contracts, that was an inlet. You know, it was all about networking and getting their name out there and their brand. And it's not that anybody was sex trafficking our children.
Well, they are now.
Yeah, they are now. And then, so my daughter ran away twice already out of foster care.
Now, which one was this that ran away? The 13-year-old is.
The first time it was both. They both left. And the second time it was just my 17-year-old.
Now,
And
what is the name of this judge again, please? Because we need to expose his ass.
Judge Barnes
Judge Barnes
in Montgomery County.
Montgomery County, Tennessee. And that's a family court or a circuit court?
Family court.
Typical. And, I mean, does anybody talk to you with any logic? Anybody communicate with you with any logic whatsoever in all of this?
No, so they still treat me like I sex trafficked my children. That still comes up. They treat me like I am guilty of sex trafficking my children.
Now,
I was
let me ask
not
you,
charged with
let's
sex
talk
trafficking.
about that. Were you arrested for sex trafficking your children? Were you found guilty of sex trafficking your children?
No,
Okay. And were
no,
you exonerated of sex trafficking your children? Like, exactly what happened with it? How dare they do this? Because it's in complete and utter violation of our laws to just
no. I
accuse
was
somebody and say it's true. I mean,
when they went to
murderers
court.
get a trial. Murderers get a trial. You know.
When I went to court, for the first and only court hearing I had, the DCS attorney said, Your Honor, the parents are pending criminal charges for sex trafficking and sexual exploitation.
And that was it.
Well,
Done.
I come to find out charges weren't pending because I was never arrested. I've never been in trouble, so I didn't understand the lingo of everything. And going through this, I'm learning so much more. So it was never a pending charge. It was an open investigation, never a charge.
Right.
So 4.5 months later, they come back and they give me 2 charges. I get charged with 2 counts of indecent exposure. Not indecent exposure of a minor.
Where's the proof?
They don't have any.
Of course they don't. Again,
You go from a major felony.
contracted in public. Contracted, contract, and public. Go ahead.
Um, I had a major felony. I mean, if I would have got charged with that, that was 8 to 12 years in prison.
Right.
They went from a major felony to a Class B misdemeanor.
Okay, so wait a minute now. Now, so they reduced it down because they knew they didn't have a leg to stand on. And generally what they do, though, actually with real stuff, I've seen them do this game that they do. I can't stand plea bargaining. I think it's absolutely unjust. But so they took it down, and then were you charged with this misdemeanor?
I have the misdemeanor. It is pending. I did go to meet with the DA. I had a settlement date. The
Okay.
DA wanted me to do a 6-month juvenile diversion program. Juvenile diversion program is if I don't get in trouble for 6 months, the charges go away. But if something happens in those 6
Try hard
months,
to
if I
not
get
get in
in trouble,
trouble. Try hard to not get in trouble. I'm being
yeah,
facetious.
right? I've never been in trouble. So, I mean, it would be easy to walk.
Right.
But if I did get in trouble, that juvenile diversion goes to an automatically guilty plea. So I said, no, we'll go to trial. I turned the plea down.
I would too, because I'm very forthright, and I despise false allegations and bullcrap, but I would do it too. But it's sad because in this country and how sick it's become, you go to trial and you hopefully have a jury of your peers that are unbiased, that are not selected. You get what I'm saying? So that you do get the right trial, because these days
Right.
you never know. You just never know.
Exactly.
Because it's so psychotic anymore. It's so ass backwards.
So today's Wednesday. I actually met with the DA yesterday, and they offered that, and I said, no, we'll go to trial.
Good for
Today
you.
I get a phone call. They put a no contract order where I cannot talk to my 17-year-old.
Yeah. Because they don't want to be caught and exposed. So here we are, catching them and exposing them by name. And what is the name of the DA?
I don't even know her name.
We'll get it. We'll make sure we get it out there. We'll make sure that we get it edited into this so that we can have it on all the television stations.
I have never in my entire life been arrested in a cop car. I was taken to jail. I was issued a sealed indictment at that. It was a sealed indictment on a misdemeanor charge.
Sick.
I had to turn myself in, get arrested, have a strip search, placed in a cell for 6 hours for nothing because they assumed. So now I can't talk to my daughter. They cut that off. For all this time, if I was a bad person, why was there contact to begin with? Why now?
Well, because they want to hide their story and their guilt. And this is.
I am a very loving mother. I wake up, I go to work for my children every day. I've done everything they asked me to do on my case plan. I had that completed within the first 3 weeks. They went in and they revised it by writing in it and telling me I had to follow that. Not adopted by the courts. I mean, my sister-in-law's in here. They all know I am a very good parent to my children. I don't let my kids run off. I don't let my kids go to other people's house and stay the night. My kids have a stable home. They have their own room. I knew where they were at all times. To now.
Well, I don't think that there's a parent who watches this show for all our advocates that don't do that feeling of not knowing where your child is, that you spent every waking minute from watching and caring for and protecting, to have this utter violation done by our system. our broken beyond repair, violating, corrupt system. And they are, treasonistic system that needs nothing short than all of them, every last one of them, are in jail. If nothing more than the fact that the decisions that they make are so utterly, not just criminal, but barbarically inhuman. Barbarically inhuman. It's just disgusting. Utterly disgusting. And there needs
I
to
did
be
not agree to anything, Bonnie. I'm not gonna agree to any plea. I didn't do anything wrong.
right.
And yes, I'm gonna have the girls subpoenaed to testify.
The girls to testify? Good. That's very good. So you have no access to them now. Obviously, they're living in fear. They're living in bad situations with strangers. That's always healthy
Well,
for
they put
children.
my daughter on Zoloft. They got my 17-year-old on Zoloft now.
Yeah. This is all part of the sick system. Sick, demonic
She's
system.
never taken
I think the signal, hold on a minute. It went out. You said she's never taken anything before. And
No.
now they've separated the girls too, isn't that right? They've separated the girls.
Now they what?
They separated the girls now, I think you said too, right? They had separated them.
They've never been separated in their life. They're
horrible.
separated.
So,
Um,
Christine, let's talk about, I'm pleading to you guys, pleading to all of America. She doesn't need much. But Connie, talk about Connie, the attorney that everybody knows. Go ahead.
I went and talked to Connie about I
Connie Regoli.
her all my case file, which I mean I have some of it here, but Connie has a lot of it. And she sat down with me just to verify that, what I'm saying is what's in the papers and what I'm telling her is the absolute truth.
Right.
And she read through it and she told me that I do have a violation of civil rights and a false imprisonment. She's not worried about that right now. Her goal is to get involved and get the girls home. Then we'll
Right.
pursue that. But
Right.
to retain her, it's $3,000, and I don't have
Right. Now,
3,000. I pay
guys,
child support.
here's part of the plea, everybody. The plea for help. Okay, it is easy for us, guys. Okay, I've been requesting this. Now that you've seen her story, maybe it'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable donating $1 or $5 or $10. Could you guys please, please make donations to get this $3,000 to her? If everybody shares this, if everybody, within no time, I'll have 1,000 views on here. Even if you guys did $1, with her, $3,000 grand scheme of attorney fees is actually very low and can really help this family, and it helps all of us guys when we do this, because we need to be continuously winning these cases and drawing attention to these cases. But right now the safety and welfare of two girls are at stake. So this is a minimal cost to us as people, to get these kids back to their family, back to their mother. Really isn't much. And so really, please, and can you tell them how they can? Are you trying to show something? I can't. Christine, are you able to tell them how they can donate? Because I know it's also on my Facebook page. I don't know if she can hear me.
I have my PayPal that I posted on your account. I did try to set up a GoFundMe, but they took it down. Just to show you guys, I mean, this is where we live. This is our home. We live in a neighborhood. We're not, I mean, Are you there?
I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me. So on my
Yeah, I can
page
hear
on
you.
Facebook, and since I'm driving for probably 4 more hours here, if I can ask my core team and you too, Christine, to kind of boost the post where you're requesting donations to get the money for Connie Rigoli, the attorney, for the $3,000. If everybody could please help her out, and it will go directly to Christine, so we can get this retained and moving forward and get those kids out of danger back with their mother and get the healing process started as soon as possible, guys, please. And I will ask my core team that for every dollar you guys donate, we will try to match it. I will request it of everyone to put in. So hopefully we can reach that goal real quickly, okay? That's what we're trying to do here. Um, so we have a very generous staff here. So and we do a lot for people that you guys don't know about. So there's a lot of you out there. We do need to be multi-billionaires to do this kind of work. But so yeah, guys, if you could, and if there's anything else you want to say, Christine, I can say this. If the girls want to reach out to me, please feel free to reach out to me. So your mom, knows how you're doing, because this is disgusting that they're putting your mom and you guys through this. Please feel free to. If anybody that are their friends want to reach out to me, let's band together, guys. We need to be this army strong right now, fighting these atrocities of kidnapping and utter child abuse.
The girls, they do have a attorney through their GAL. My daughter's only seen her twice. It seems like once they realized I wasn't charged with the sex trafficking, like everybody backed down. In the beginning, they were like, full force going after everything. But now they're using that as an excuse when they're
Right,
asking for services for the girls or for myself. They're reverting back to the sex trafficking, which I don't
right.
understand.
It's just a scam artist business. Amy Ingram is an attorney in Kingston, New York, and she was assigned to my son. There's something inhuman about these people. So they'll stand up in court and they'll just keep lying. They just lie and lie. It's part of what they do. They're sick people. They're really sick people. You have to really actually almost feel sorry for them. When I had my son, I have permanent sole custody, and boy, has he told me the truth, And he's told me, like, she just makes things up in court because she's nuts. These people are incredibly crazy, evil, wicked people, And really, it's like I see a lot of them. I meet a lot of them, and they all have substance abuse problems because their consciences are so effed up that they have to drink it away or take something to dull their evil hearts. So they don't live like normal people. They're not happy on the inside, that's for sure. And they're lying. Well, they think they are. So don't let that phase you one way or another, because that's just that's what they do. They do that because they're trying to protect themselves.
I'll answer any of y'all's questions.
I personally can't read them driving. I mean, if you
If
see
they want to ask questions, I'll be more than willing to answer any
yeah,
questions that y'all
guys,
have.
and you can see the chat, right, Christine, below.
Yeah.
So if anybody
Yeah,
has
I can.
questions for Christine, feel free to go ahead and ask in chat. I can't have both of you come on at the same time, so if you could just ask in chat. Christine said she'd be happy to answer anything.
And I would love to hire the girls an attorney, but coming up with money to hire me an attorney is hard enough. And, I just don't have all this money to hire attorneys for
Right,
everybody.
but at the end of the day, we're going to supply you with a federal lawyer for there to go after them.
Right.
You need to go after them. Your daughters need to go after them for all this, so that you could own them when you're done. I don't know. You're going to have to look though, Christine, because I cannot read them, but I do see questions coming up.
They were employed by a broadcasting company, but which that's part of the thing. In February of 2017, I pulled them off of that broadcasting platform because they were being exposed to bullies, and there was some inappropriate pictures that were going in their guest queue. And the guest queue is kind of like this. They can go in and wait, but a picture shows of who's waiting. And there was inappropriate pictures on there, and they wouldn't do anything about it. So I pulled the girls off of that. I was threatened to be sued, but I told them, go ahead and sue me. I mean, my daughters are being exposed to things they shouldn't be exposed to, and they dropped it. So,
I just want to make a request to anybody at all. This is actually November 9th, and so you should see that for your life. Please reach out to this mother if you're an advocate in Tennessee near her. And also, you might as well just give your PayPal email right now, because if anybody can help donate to her retaining of a lawyer, it's only $3,000. So, and when I tell you guys $1 would be something encouraging right now, I'm not kidding. Like, seriously, $1 each, $5 each. It's not too much to ask. It will add up quickly. It will add up quickly, please, because it's $3,000. That is really nothing if you only knew the prices of attorneys, the prices of appeals, and so on and so forth. So yeah, guys, please. And then I'm gonna ask my court team to try to do our best to catch this. And if it goes
so
over,
I will show you my daughters. DCS went in and actually had a lot of their social networks taken down. Their YouNow was taken down and deleted. My daughters had replays on their live me's, but DCS got a hold of my daughter's phone that she got caught with, and they deleted her replays because it shows that it was appropriate videos and it would help my case, not theirs. So they
oh, that's
deleted the
right. And they
replay.
and they even said it was appropriate. Didn't they even use the word
Yes,
appropriate, not inappropriate? So they actually
appropriate video.
appropriate. So they actually admitted that they. It's mind blowing. It really is. They actually admitted that they were wrong.
I'll still read a couple questions. I'm gonna pull this here up, and I'll show you what made them go viral. But like I said, they had a subscription button. They had over 200,000 fans on YouNow, and that's where they became famous. They promoted their Instagram, which their Instagrams got taken down. And they're gone. My 17-year-old's daughter's Instagram is no longer there. My 13-year-old's, hers is there still, but it was ran by me. I ran my 13-year-old's Instagram. She didn't have access to it. I posted all pictures and everything. So everything there, they couldn't do anything about. So they didn't take her account down. They only took my 17. And all this has been revolved around my 17-year-old, not my
So
13-year-old. She's
you know,
kind of just been,
I'm not an attorney. Obviously, Connie, I'm sure she's going to agree with this because I know this is correct. But for example, your daughter, the 17-year-old daughter, they violated all of her rights. Like, that was her employment, I believe. Is that correct? That was her job.
yeah,
So
yes.
so they've just destroyed her career and her job. Boy, she's going to be a very wealthy young lady when this is over.
That's what I
Wow.
said.
hmm Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. I don't know where they come off with this. I don't know how they hire these people. I don't know how any of this. I don't know how they sleep at night. We've all said the same thing over and over again. How these judges sleep at night. How they live these lives. They're so dysfunctional, making decisions.
All right. So
So I'm sorry, but Christine, if you could give your email.
I typed it in the chat. It's
Oh,
Tommy,
okay.
Tommy 13 Tom at yahoo.com.
Tommy, Tommy 13 Tom Tom at, you said yahoo.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So if you guys could PayPal, and then just put Maund Sisters, um, so that that's what it's going for. Okay, guys, really appreciate that. Thank you.
So I'm going to show you my daughter's live me. This is my daughter's live me. You can see she has 102K fans. All right. And on her, she would promote her Instagram through that. So that's how she got all her followers on her Instagram. She got brand deals. She did a Rock My Hair promo. She did that Bright Smile teeth thing. And they sent her product for promoting it on her Instagram. I mean, just
Right. So
nothing
all this.
ever inappropriate.
Right. I mean, I saw it. I went through it. Okay. Well, we do thank you for your story. And I just, we're going to continue to work very closely with you. And we thank everybody that's going to see this and already watch this live for any help you can do to help her, help these daughters.
And guys, I know we're all going through the struggle and the pain, and we all have stories. I do, and I sympathize. And whatever you do to help me out, it is greatly appreciated. And I thank you for helping me out and listening to my story.
Thank you for telling it, and I'm glad to expose these judges, these corrupt CPS workers, and all involved in the abuse they put you and your family through, and now your daughters that are going through this abuse. They're actually continuously going through this abuse. But we know that there will be a happy ending. We know there will. So thank you again for coming on. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thanks, guys. Have a good night, everybody.